Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Reecee News. And I know I haven't done an episode in a while, but there is some news out now and I'm not as busy, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first bit of news here is with Kirby 64 in the Nintendo Switch Online Nintendo 64 app. I've been playing that game for a while, and I've noticed a game-breaking glitch. I wasn't sure if this was in the original version or not, and it turns out that it wasn't. It's only in the Nintendo Switch version, and basically, what happens is if you get hit in a certain way or take a certain amount of damage underwater, you get stunned and you can't move, meaning you'll have to exit the level and go back in, and this happens underwater. And so I'm not sure how exactly this works. I think it's like certain damage sources I'm seeing. So I think like you have to take damage by certain things like a boss or a certain object in order to not be able to move and basically get soft locked. So this is unfortunate because a lot of games have been having issues on the Nintendo 64 app. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Nintendo's gonna fix this until next month, because they usually don't fix the issues in the Nintendo 64 app until a month later. But I really hope they do fix this. It's unfortunate that these games have a lot of issues, but either way, with Kirby 64, I am having fun with that game. It doesn't completely break the game, because you can just kind of avoid that, like if you try not to get hit, but it still is pretty unfortunate. But yeah, anyways, I have been enjoying Kirby 64, but I really hope that gets fixed, and I really hope Nintendo puts more effort into their emulation, because there's been a lot of issues with this over the past few months, and it's unfortunate to see that the emulation for Nintendo 64 games on the Switch hasn't been as good as emulation on their previous consoles, so we'll just have to see what they do in the future. But anyways, let's move on to the next news here. So basically, we got some more information about Mario Strikers Battle League, and even though this game seems like it will have some content problems and issues with the amount of content in the game, I'm still thinking it looks pretty good from what it looks like. It still looks like it has a lot of energy, and the gameplay and everything looks really nice. It still looks like it has the gameplay still has a lot of energy that the older games had, and it still looks really fun and kind of action-packed and everything. And the online is looking really good too. I'm just a little concerned about the content. I like the fact that it only has 10 characters is kind of disappointing. But basically, they updated the North American website for Mario Strikers, and they added like all of the hyper strikes on there, and they look really good. A lot of people were saying on Twitter that a lot of the character animations didn't look as expressive compared to like the older games, or even soulless compared to the older games. But I feel like that's not really the case. I feel like it's more different, because I still feel like there's a lot of energy there. It still does seem like it has like a similar kind of Mario Strikers energy to it, especially when looking at the hyper strikes, like with Waluigi's or Rosalina's. They still have a lot of energy in them, but it's not exactly like how it was in Charged and everything. So I feel like people really shouldn't make assumptions about things like that. I mean, yes, it is good to judge and criticize things before they launch, but I feel like a lot of that is nitpicky. But from what we've seen so far, I think it looks good, but I am pretty concerned about the amount of content in the game. But there was also some other information too, like they kind of went over, like they had a couple more screenshots and went over a little more information about the cup battles. I'm glad the cup battles are returning, because that means there will potentially be more unlockables. And it says on the website that you could actually play it with 4 players. I'm not sure in the older games if you could play cup battles with multiplayer, but I think that's a pretty good feature. And basically you'll earn coins, and in the older games you'd unlock characters, but I'm really hoping that characters are unlockable with coins this time, or basically anything in this game is unlockable with coins. I'm kind of hoping that's the case, because that's basically kind of what it's seeming it's gonna be. But I'm glad cup battles are there, because that's a good, good single-player content. Like, I'm glad there's at least some single-player content in the game, and it's not just completely online. Because the cup battles were in the previous 2 games, and I'm glad they're returning here too. So anyways, that's all the news I have for today. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.